Hey there, welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be talking about small fiber neuropathy. In my last video I gave a brief introduction to neuropathy, and so I thought that it might be good for me to make a few more videos on specific examples of when neuropathy might occur. And today I would like to talk to you about small fiber neuropathy. Small fiber neuropathy is named so because it tends to only affect very small sensory neurons in the skin. Typically, an attack of pain with small fiber neuropathy begins in the hands and feet, and it sort of works its way inward. Oftentimes it's described as a sort of burning sensation or a tingling and sometimes even a numbness. As a person with small fiber neuropathy ages, the areas afflicted tend to change. And some people experience a generalized pain throughout the whole body. Many people find that the pain is most severe when they go to lay down for a nap or at nighttime when they get tired. One interesting facet to small fiber neuropathy is that people who are afflicted by it typically cannot feel pain that is concentrated on a single point. We call this pinprick pain. They do, however, suffer from hyperalgesia and allodynia. Hyperalgesia is characterized by a heightened sensitivity to pain in general. And allodynia is something that happens when a person feels pain in response to a stimulus that is not normally considered painful. Many people have kind of experienced this before. If you can think of a time when you ever burnt yourself, the pain is at first really severe and then it tends to go away after a little bit of time. But say the area that had been burned, you put it near a heat source. It doesn't have to get very close to that heat source before that pain starts to set into the area and you remove it, because you're feeling it even though normally from this distance it wouldn't cause you pain. People afflicted with this disorder also have a reduced ability to differentiate between hot and cold temperatures. Even though their episodes of pain are sometimes evoked by warm or cold triggers, these people sometimes experience problems with urinary and bowel movements. They also can experience episodes of heart palpitations, dry eyes and mouth. Sometimes they get rapid drops in blood pressure upon standing, which can cause them to become really dizzy or even faint. It is not known how many people are afflicted with this disorder. There are a number of causes for small fiber neuropathy, but one in particular that is known is a genetic cause. This cause is particularly important to me because my lab actually studies this specific mechanism, which is a mutation in the SCN9A gene and the SCN10A gene. These two genes provide necessary instructions for the making of voltage-gated sodium channels. The SCN9A gene is the one that encodes for the alpha subunit protein for the voltage-gated sodium channel 1.7, which is the one that is of primary study in my lab. And the SCN10A gene encodes for the necessary information for the alpha subunit of the voltage-gated sodium channel 1.8. These two channels are primarily found in nociceptors, which are specialized nerve cells that transmit signals about pain from the body to the brain. For the purpose of keeping things a little more simple, I will focus on the sodium channel 1.7, but you can assume that everything that happens for the sodium channel 1.7 also happens for the sodium channel 1.8. Quickly, a channel is a protein that remains closed until you want it to open. And then when you want it to open, you open it and it allows something to pass through it. A sodium channel is a channel that remains closed until you would like an influx of sodium, in which case it opens and allows sodium to go into the inside of the cell. The reason these channels are called voltage gated is because they require a slight amount of voltage in order to open them. When a slight amount of voltage is applied, the channel opens and it allows the influx of sodium, which is a positive ion, and that makes the inside of the cell more positive than it was previously. This makes the cell much more likely to fire. It's becoming depolarized. When you open up the voltage-gated sodium channel 1.7, you allow the influx of sodium into the nociceptive cell, which then makes it fire and send a signal up the spine and to the brain, signaling that pain has occurred. When these channels are functioning normally, pain will occur when it is meant to occur, and pain will not occur when it is not meant to occur. If there is no reason for the individual to feel pain, they won't receive any pain signals from the body to the brain. Sometimes an SCN9A gene is mutated such that it encodes for an alpha subunit of that sodium channel, causing it to remain slightly open or leak sodium into the neuron at all times. This makes the neuron more depolarized at all times and therefore more likely to fire. Sometimes these mutations occur such that the sodium channel will open at a smaller voltage than would normally be required. These mutations both cause these neurons to become more excitable, and oftentimes they send signals when they're not supposed to. Another interesting thing about these overexcitable neurons is that they do tend to degrade over time, although the mechanism for their degradation is not really known. This is likely what accounts for the loss of pinprick sensitivity and for the loss of the ability to differentiate between hot and cold temperatures. This increase in hypersensitivity, juxtaposed with the degradation of these same neurons over time, leads to fluctuations in signs and symptoms throughout the individual's lifetime. Another interesting thing of note is that roughly 30% of people who experience neuropathy do have a mutation in the SCN9A gene, and roughly 5% of those people have a mutation in the SCN10A gene. Other than genetic causes, there are other causes for small fiber neuropathy. Disorders that affect how glucose is used by the body, such as diabetes mellitus, are also known to cause small fiber neuropathy. It is estimated that anywhere between 6 and 50% of people with diabetes will develop small fiber neuropathy. There are numerous other causes as well, such as Fabry disease, which is a metabolic disorder. Sjögren's syndrome and celiac disease are both immune diseases that are known to cause small fiber neuropathy as well. There are also inflammatory conditions such as HIV and sarcoidosis. If you enjoyed learning about small fiber neuropathy and would like to learn more about other neuropathic disorders, be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.